The sun sets and night spreads across the canyon. Coyotes welcome the stars from the foot of the mesa. And standing before us is Fajada Butte. This is where it all began. This is the beginning of our story. The people who lived here, they created a celestial observatory at the top of Fajada Butte. And there they mapped the sun as it went across the sky through the seasons. Summer solstice, the winter solstice, the equinox of the sun. They did the same thing with the moon. Did you know that over 9.25 years, the wobble of the moon causes it to rise at different places along the horizon from south to north, and then 9.25 years later, it returns back to its original position. 18.5 years, time after time after time. And here at the top of Fajada Butte, they made a petroglyph, a spiral, a calendar of sorts. 18.5 circles. Now, there's also a series of rocks that stand here, and the cracks between these rocks act as a sort of prism that lets the light from the sun shine through and create a dagger of light on this back wall of Fajada Butte. And it had worked this way from when this was created around 800 AD up until about the mid-1980s. And then erosion and the shifting of the stones destroyed the effect. It was no more. Tonight, we're going to set up an attempt to take a photo of the Milky Way ascending from the horizon behind the butte and over the top into the sky. Well, the sun is setting in the west, but our adventure is just beginning. Hey, y'all. Thanks for joining me. Let's check out Chaco Canyon at night. This is where it all began. Out there, that is Fajada Butte, and that's where on the top of that butte is a petrograph that's actually a calendar. It measured the equinox and the solstices of the sun. So tonight what we're going to do is I've come back here to Fajada Butte, and I want to get the Milky Way. The Milky Way should come up just on the right side, our right, as you're facing the butte. And if you see that slope that comes up, well, one of the rangers told me today that slope, it goes around the side, and it was actually a ramp that went all the way up to the top. That was all man-made. And it went all the way to the top, and they would go and they would see those, how the sun was coming through their calendar. Okay, this video is going to be a little combination of technical, of how I'm going to do this, and then also entertaining, I hope, of sharing what I'm doing. Again, I'm going to do the Milky Way coming up beside this icon of the Chaco people. So what I'm starting to do is I want to get a baseline. We're in blue hour right now, and so I'm just going to take a baseline for the foreground. When it gets dark and the Milky Way comes up around 10 o'clock tonight, then I'll take pictures of the Milky Way. I'll blend those in together. Now my idea is to have 3 shots that I'll put together in a panorama of the foreground, and then I'm going to do 3 bands of 3 above the butte. So you would have a 3x4 panorama, which, of course, that's 12 pictures, and then blend them together. And To do the blending, I use Affinity, and when we get back to the studio, I'll just put it in Affinity and walk you through that and let you see how I make a panorama shot. Well, let's do a little bit here. I want to go back to media format. I'm gonna. Oh, this makes me nervous. I just erased nearly 2,000 pictures that I've taken today, but I've got them on my iPad, so I'm safe. But it just makes me nervous when I do that, because once you format the SD card, they're gone. All right, so I'm going to take, I've got the shutter speed down to 100. I'm going to move the f-stop to 1.6, and that gives me, just looking at the histogram, I'm in well on both sides, so I'm going to move to the left 115 degrees. And that's where this attenuated mount comes in handy, because it clicks, and I've got it set to 15 degrees, so it clicks each time. So I'll take the shot. Turn it one time till it clicks. Got the Butte right in the center. Take a shot. Then turn it one more time, right in the middle. Take the shot. All right, so that's the foreground. Move it back to the beginning, and then when the stars come out, I'll lift it up. In fact, I'll go ahead and lift it up. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to overlap each picture, by a third to a half. A half is overkill, but that's okay. So I'm going to raise it up to the top of the Butte, and that'd be about a half right there. And I'll lock that in place. And now it's set up for the first picture. And then after I do this, and I've got them set to about 10-second shutter speed so that I don't have any star trails. But then I'm going to put the star tracker on, and I'm going to open it up to about 45 seconds a shot. And I'll do another panorama with the same settings and compare the two and see what we think. The 45 seconds should make all the colors even more vibrant. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm telling you, in these skies out here, the Milky Way has been very vibrant. Last night, it was just amazing out in the sand dunes. So while we're waiting for this, maybe I'll just show you that one again. Well, we're back in the studio, so I can show you what I've done with these panoramas. Now, I had intended to do a little different. I was going to do 3 shots across and stack them 4 high for a panorama of 12 photos. Ended up doing 4 shots across and 4 high with 16 photos involved in that. Did two panoramas here at Chaco Canyon. I did one with a shutter speed of 10 seconds per photo. And then I put the star tracker on, hoping to get more of the of the vibrance of the galactic center of the Milky Way. Opened the shutter speed up, tested it at 45 seconds. There were some star trails at 45 seconds. I didn't like that in a test shot. So I dropped down the shutter speed to 25 seconds. And after several test shots, 25 seconds seemed to be the right shutter speed for my setup. I took 16 photos at 25 seconds of shutter speed for each using the star tracker. And let me put these things together for you and let you be the judge of which you might like better. The photos I shot in the first panorama were at 10 seconds of shutter speed. That was done about 9:30 that night. And the Milky Way had come up between the Butte on the right and this mesa that set to the left. And it was about in the middle of that. And I was a bit sad because I really wanted the Milky Way coming up out of the top of Fajada Butte. 10:30, I went back, and there it was. This is the photo that I got. Let's see how we're going to do this. I'm going to open up Affinity 2. I'm going to come over here and make a new batch job. Now, with the batch job, I'm going to put in the photos from Milky Way 1, Chaco Canyon, and I'm putting in all of the raw photos. So let me come down through here um, and drag and take all of those, and then I will open them. I'm going to add um, the Chaco Canyon Milky Way macro that I had put together. Showed you how to do that with the Great Sand Dunes. I put together this macro that does all of the edits in one of the photos. I generally take the lightest photo in a set, and I'll go ahead and edit that. I record it as a macro, and then and when I do this batch job, it will apply all of those settings, all those adjustments to all of the photos in here. I'm going to save these into a specific file. I'm going to put this on my desktop. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it Chaco Milky Way 1 and create that. And we'll just then hit OK to Affinity Photo. That's all done. Get out of Affinity Photo here and find my Chaco Canyon Milky Way 1 folder. I have a lot of folders on here right now. I need to clean all this up. I'll do that after I get done with these videos. And so here, now we can open this up and we can look and see. And these are all the photos that I've done in this first shot. I'm going to go ahead and do the second one as well. Let's just go ahead and make a new folder. Let's name this Chaco Milky Way 2. And go ahead and do the same thing again with the second set of photos. So I'm going to do a new batch job. I'm going to save it as a JPEG. I'm not going to save these. I'm going to save it into on the desktop. Find my Chaco Canyon Milky Way 2. I'll save it in there. Let's go ahead and add the photos. So we're going to go here. Chaco Canyon Milky Way 2. Show all 21. We're not going to use 21. We're going to use I think that's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're going to open those there. We're going to apply the Chaco Milky Way setting. and we're going to hit OK. And it will go through and add the settings onto those photos. Okay, now with that done, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go ahead and make a new panorama. We're going to add our first set of photos. We're going to go to the desktop, Chaco Canyon, Milky Way 1. We will add all of these into, and we'll open those, and we'll stitch together a panorama. There it is. Hit OK. It's loading the document. It's going to render it. There it is. I'm going to go to crop. I'm going to crop to opaque in order to take away from all the background that's wasted. I'm going to hit apply. And there is my first panorama. I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to export that back into my folder. I'm going to do best quality of a JPEG, export it back into here. I'm going to call it Chaco Milky Way 1. Just found that it's easier if I'm consistent with what I'm doing, and then it just makes it easier for me. Okay, we'll close this. Not going to save it. I'm going to take and make a new panorama, and now I will add from the desktop, go to Chaco Canyon Milky Way 2. Let's add all of these. We're going to open this. We're going to stitch the panorama. Let the program do its magic. Okay. It will render this new panorama. And there it is. I'm going to crop it to opaque. Apply that. And then export it. Best quality. Chaco Milky Way 2. And we'll put that in its appropriate folder. Save it there. And with a little editing from those two, from Lightroom, this is what we get. Which do you like best? The one at 10 seconds or the one at 25 seconds? Well, that'll do it for another video. Looking forward to some new content that's coming up soon, and I'll be back with you then. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay on the path, and God bless you.